Um, Good day to everyone, and welcome to the next speaking practice video. Yeah, today I am recording speaking practice video number 80. Yeah, step by step, I'm coming closer to the goal of uh, 100 speaking practice videos on this channel. It's not that I'm precisely bind to this number of speaking videos is that it's just you know a simple measurement for myself in order to at least have some start point and finish point, yeah, because it's just easier to do this type of practice, this type of practicing this type of videos when you when you have the final point. Yeah. When I started recording these practice videos, my goal was to improve my language, actually my speaking skill, uh, sufficiently enough to be able to communicate with natives. Of course, I accepted that. Uh, I accept that pronunciation wouldn't be perfect, obviously, and there still would be stylistic stylistic how we call it, let's say just I accepted that my pronunciation would be perfect, yes, or even would be wouldn't I wouldn't be sound as a native even after years of practicing of speaking, obviously, because there is no teacher who guides me, there is only me and some amount of free time during the days that I can spend in studying language. Yeah. So this was the third thing that I accepted. The second thing was that style, the structure in which I will build sentences wouldn't be wouldn't sound also very clean and very native. Yeah, because the same reason there is no teacher, there is only me, and I speak as possibly I speak as I can at at the moment of time. Yeah. So and the third part is it's about measurement. Yeah. Because my goal was to improve speaking skill sufficiently enough to be able to speak with natives. Yeah. Um, I made the goal for myself. I set up the goal for myself that after 100 speaking practice videos, I'm for sure will be able to speak with natives. Yeah, will be able to express my mind clearly, and yeah, and just simply understand almost everything. Then they are trying to say to me. Yeah, understand and express my mind clearly. Yeah, being a dialogue, of course, being a foreigner, it's obvious. It would be obvious. Yes, and it is obvious when I'm talking that it's not native accent of language. But the goal was to just be able to use a language as a not actually as a tool. I don't like to see languages as a tool because language is a way of expressing yourself. It's not just, I don't know, tool to do something. Of course, at some length, at some point of view, you might consider it as a tool. As a tool. But for me, it's much more. It is a way how I can interact with the world and express myself. Because according to my experience, when I speak different languages, change my mm, I change my expression of myself. I even change a feeling of how I um, feel myself in a language. Yeah, and yeah, for me it's more than a tool. For me, it's additional way of expressing myself and communicating with the world. Yeah. So, and what was the point? What I've been talking about? Yeah, that the point of goal of 100 speaking practice video um, is to improve speaking skill sufficient enough to be able to speak with other people. And I think I'm already quite stable at speaking English, and I'm already can absolutely normally to communicate with other people in English. Yeah, I've tested it. I get the experience. I get the confirmation that I can do it. Yeah, of course there is flaws and mm, stylistic. Let's check this word stylistic if it's a real word because I'm not sure I can stylistic. Stylistic meaning.
Stylistic.
Stylistic is an adjective relating to a specific artistic, literary, or technical style used in writing, art, or music. Yeah, I think I've hit the spot. Yeah. So um, I think I've already reached my goal, my starting goal, just to be able to speak freely, to use language sufficiently, and be able to express my thoughts clearly. Yeah, and just simply participate in a dialogue with native speakers and do not feel myself do not feel myself much anxious about it. Yeah, and because and yeah, as I said, I reached this goal, and what's gonna be the next goal in my English studying? I'm still gonna continue recording these speaking practice videos because I think thanks to this type of practice, even if this is a solo practice, yeah, this is a personal practice, a practice that I do by my own. Yeah, there is no teammate or companion who practice English with me. But still, this type of practice is useful and it still brings me results. Yeah, probably not so significant results. Yes, yeah, no, sorry. The results is significant, of course, but probably a bit slower achieved than in a normal way with a teacher or with a speaking partner. Yeah, but still, the result is achieved and the result is here. Result is presence. Yeah, I mean, this type of practice brings results. Yeah, so it means that this works. Yeah, it means that this works. And I'm not gonna to left this type of practice aside. Um, I'm still gonna not participate. I'm still gonna create this speaking practice solo videos. Uh, Now I just want to read the 100 speaking practice videos in English on this channel and just make it tick. Yeah, right. Like I've planned 100 speaking videos. I've done speaking practice videos, and I think I'm still gonna continue this type of practice even when I'll be on a highest level of English, even when I be speaking more fluently than now, because I'm not living in a at least until I'm not living in a English speaking society. Yeah, because when you live in abroad or aside from the community or the social circle that speaks English, you are not participate. No, you don't participate and you don't engage in a language how you could have been or might have been doing it if you would live in an English speaking country. Yeah, absolutely different levels of engagement. Right now, I'm just spending approximately of course, I'm watching videos, of course, I'm watching TV shows, of course, I'm reading in English, but even if I do all this type of practices, I'm still not engaged at the same level as the person who is simply living in an English speaking country. Yeah, absolutely different levels of engagement. And my goal is right now is to simply prepare myself sufficiently enough. Uh, I mean, I want to secure the B2 level of English for me as much as possible, and it will allow me when I'll be able to try myself or move or participate more in an English speaking environment, full English speaking environment. I would have a solid base on which I will be able to build the highest level. I mean, when you join the English speaking country or English speaking social circle or environment with the level of B2, it's much more easier for you to reach the C1 and C2. It's like you just building already on the very solid fundament, correct? Ground, on a very solid ground, but fundament. There is fundament of the house. A house foundation. Yeah. Uh, it's like yeah. The thing that I've been talking about is that you already have a very solid foundation, and on this foundation, building the higher level of skill is much more easier. It's much more natural than if you will try to join the English speaking society, or it's not society, but English speaking environment with the zero level of language or very beginner level on or very beginner level of language. Yeah, I mean, you still will have to make this journey of studying to the B2 level of English in order to make to the C1, C2 level of English. You just gonna do it in, or you just would do it in an English speaking environment. Yeah. So probably it would be easier or it might be harder. Yeah. But in general, you can't skip this. You can't skip the steps in studying language. Yeah. You can't skip the steps. And it doesn't matter if you are studying. I mean, it doesn't matter are you living in the English speaking country or not? You still gonna move in your studying through all these steps from A1 to B2 to C1 to C2. Yeah, you can't skip the levels, and the only thing that will probably help you to reach from A1 to B2 faster is that you will be constantly engaging in an English speaking environment. It might help, but also it might distract you as well, yeah? So, if you, the point is what I'm trying to explain is that if you already have solid base, if you already have B2, which is my goal, yeah, to solidify, to secure the B2 level of English as much as possible, as much good as I can at my environment, at my circumstances, yeah? In order when I'll be able to reach or immerse myself into English speaking environment, I will be ready to move to the higher. I will be ready to move to the higher levels. Yeah, it will require, of course, it will require, of course, a lot of exposure to the language, a lot of working with a teacher, a lot of working with the grammar, because my grammar also has flaws. Yeah, I've tested it. I can write in English, but do mistakes. Yes, I can write in English, but I'm doing mistakes. I do mistakes, and sometimes it's not even some complicated mistakes. It's just misusing the letter in the word. For example, yeah, the most common mistake is that I misuse or when I just simply write the word, but I can miswrite the letters. Yeah, this issue I have with grammar. Of course, there is a lot of punctuation, other things that I'm even probably now can't see due to my English level. But I'm working on it, and I'm just, yeah, as I explained, my point of view, my outlook on this matter of English study is just to prepare myself as much as I can to the fully immersing into English speaking environment. Yeah, if I will overreach, or if I will, let's say, improve to a C1 at home, it would be good. But it would be really good. Yeah, it would be a miracle even, I suppose. But if I don't, and if I just will stay on B2 level of English and simply improving vocabulary, improving grammar a little, improving ability to talk a little, yeah. If I will just simply if I will simply just um, improve and solidify my B2 level of English, yeah, at this environment where I am now, at this not like the environment, but at these circumstances in life where I am now, it would be more than enough. It would be very good, more than enough, and that's why I will continue recording this type of practice videos. Yeah, of course, in the future, I'm planning that I will be able to pay. I will be able to. I will have spare money to pay for the teacher. Yeah, I will have more spare time to invest into working on the pronunciation. Yes, um, it's just a question of time and resources. Yeah, that I would able to invest into studying. In my plans, I want to speak English. Probably at least, not at least, but I want to speak English somewhere at C1 level of communication. Yeah, some level of C1. Yeah, I'm not looking for C2 because I understand that it's quite a deep level of knowledge in language. But C1 for me, I think, would be more than enough. Yeah, or at least exactly as much as I want. Yeah, and I understand that in order to reach C1, I need more immersion. Uh, I need more time in which I need more duration of time during which I will be using language. I need a teacher, yeah, to how we call it. I need a teacher to mend my mistakes. I need a teacher to at least clarify for me my mistakes that I'm probably can't notice right now by myself. And just a practice, yeah, just time, practice, and nothing actually changing in the process, yeah, how it's achieved. You just invest your time, you invest your energy, you invest your efforts into it, yeah, and you simply expose yourself to the language. You write, you speak, you read, you listen. Yeah. The the system is the same. It only requires more time, more engagement, and professional help from specialized. And it's all. So it was a very long for talk. I've been talking for 20 minutes in order to express my thoughts, my mind, but it's okay. It's absolutely okay because it's my speaking practice. Nobody actually watching it. I'm doing it for myself, and the more I speak, the better for me. Yeah. So let's move to the Chat GPT. Chat GPT, as usual, prepared for us some questions in English, and I'm going to answer on these questions. But before, I need to upload ChatGPT because I accidentally closed the window with it. Okay, C1 level of questions. Let's start. Question number 1. If you could observe one moment from history without changing it, what would you choose and why? If I could observe one moment from history without changing it, I mean like a spectator, I mean like a spectator, yeah, like an audience, like in a movie, for instance. I don't know. I really don't know because I'm not actually keen on. No, no, probably I'm keen on history, but I haven't been spending much time into studying the history, and it's not the subject um of my not nowadays, but it's not a subject of my current interest. Yeah, I'm concentrating on languages. I'm concentrating on animation. So basically, if I have free time, I spend it on some TV show or book or I know some activities that will help me to rest from all of it, from all things that I'm studying. And the history takes, I think, not the first place. Yeah, obviously. I I haven't been watching historical content, I think, for years right now, from now on. Yeah, of course, some shorts on YouTube, I might see something connected to the old historical periods, and I finished the school education, so I have some basic general picture of the human history. But it's not that this subject is very interesting for me. Yeah, and in order to answer on this question, I need to think about and consider some historical periods and what I would like to see. And I don't know if I can choose, if I could choose, I would choose that I want to see the beginning of the. I want to see the beginning of the human species. Yeah, I want to see how we are humans. Uh, 1 minute evolution, but evolute. No, 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 no. Evolution, but verb. Verb. Let's find out. Evolution, but verb. The verb from of evolution is evolve. Yeah, correct. I knew it, but I forget it, unfortunately. 1 minute. I need to close the window because there is. No, there is no noise. We can continue. Okay, my answer is if I could, I would watch the period when we are evolve to whom we are now, how we evolve to become human beings. I would very interested in watch this period of times, and I would be very interested in watching the periods of time when dinosaurs will live in. Yeah, these two periods of time I probably very interested in. I'm not quite interested in different periods of human history because it's all it's all kind of it's all kind of meaningful and at the same time meaningless for me at least. What could I get from the past? Yeah, nothing. It's just a history. It's just a story. Yes, that's already written, and there is no point for me to overlook. There is no point for me to look in it precisely. I can't get anything. At least as I think right now. Yeah, reading about the, let's say, the historical period of ancient China, not gonna get any useful information for me right now when I need to concentrate on studying two languages and animation. My mind just don't have, let's say, my mind I think have the capability to understand this information and to remember this information, but I think there is no need for me to accumulate even more mental fatigue, especially in the subjects and in the topics that are not related now to my current ideas and uh, goals, not goals, but the desires and zone of interests. Yeah, the desires and zones of interest. Maybe in the future when I will feel myself more stable, more free at time, more yes, basically just more secure at a place, more free at a time, and I will have some, let's say, some period of time that I would really like to spend on studying the history or reading something from historical period, I would do it. Yeah, just from a sheer interest. But um, right now, this is my answer. I don't have, let's say, strong desire to deep to deep to I have no strong desire to dive deep into the history, but there is two periods that I would really interesting to see um the creating or the evolving of human species and the dinosaur period, and probably the the period when Earth was created. Also very interesting. Yeah, this is a period that scientists call the beginning or the Big Bang. Yeah, when our universe assumably was created. I would like to see it, but in general, yeah, this is my answer. Let's move to the next. Why do people often feel more motivated at the beginning of something than in the middle? Difficult to say. Difficult to say. I think I've been less motivated to study English at the beginning because it was more difficult than now in the middle. Uh, I don't know. I don't know. When I started learning languages, when I started learning something, especially when now I'm doing something in life, I'm not even consider my motivation to do something. Motivation for me, it's like a bonus. Bonus. 1 minute. Let's look how this word pronounce it. Bonus, meaning uh,
Bonus.
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 Bonus. Yeah, bonus. Yeah, how far I am from correct pronunciation, but okay, bonus. Um, yeah. For me now, I consider motivation. I consider motivation right now is a bonus of the mood or mood enhancement. Like one day you really feel like you are interested and want to invest your time in studying something. The other day, 1 minute. The cat wanted to go out from the room. Yeah, one day you feel really motivated, and I mean, motivation is interest. One day you feel sheer interest to do something. The other day, you don't feel sheer interest. Yeah, you just do what you need to do what you need to do according to your plan, and in the process, you get this feeling of sheer interest, but not in the beginning. And I don't know. I just don't really rely or consider motivation as something very important to do. Of course, you need to understand why you do something. Of course, you need to have uh, actually the reason why you do something gives you the motivation. Like, I want to speak English. I want to speak English. Yeah, I want to be able to communicate with other people in English. Do I really motivated? Yes, let's say this statement already gives me enough motivation to exercise this language because I want to talk with other people in English. What I need to do? I need to practice English. Yeah. If this is a motivation, okay, but for me it's more likely like when you have the clear understanding why you need to do something, it already creates enough motivation and enough momentum for you to do something. Yeah, it's not like you sitting at home and, for instance, okay, you really motivated to, I don't know, learn how to speak in Chinese. Yeah, you're really motivated. I don't know, you watch some of videos of how Chinese is very, I don't know, engaging in interesting language, and you sitting on your bed, laying on your bed, yeah, and decided for yourself, I really motivated to study Chinese. But after a couple of days, when you already lost this kind of motivation, you just ask yourself, why should I invest my time in Chinese language if I'm not even gonna to I don't even want to move to China, and I don't even want I don't really want to communicate with only Chinese people. Yeah, I mean in their language. Why I really need it. And if there is no need, if there is no reason, motivation doesn't matter. Just by sheer motivation, you're not gonna you're not gonna push yourself enough or simply yeah, at least this is how it works for me. Without a reason, I can't commit to any action. Because why on earth should I do something? Yeah, why on earth should I learn Chinese right now? Because I'm not planning to bind my life with China. I'm not planning to move to China. I don't even want to go to China as a tourist. So why on earth should I learn Chinese? The answer is I shouldn't. Yeah, and that's why it doesn't matter how much I will try to motivate myself that Chinese language is interesting on. It would be cool to learn their alphabet. Yeah, but there is no real reason for me to invest my time into it. So that's why motivation not gonna work, and that is my approach. Yeah, actually, and this is I'm answering now for myself. But if we will consider if we will consider uh like what are people in general, why are people in general lose motivation in the middle of the process, and I think exactly due to the situation that I explained before, that when you feel a real motivation, just let's say simple interest, yeah, without real reasons, that will uh, that will prop your decision. uh, it's like at the beginning you are very interested, but in the middle it requires more and more efforts, and you ask yourself, why should I do it? Yeah, why should I, let's say, invest my time, my efforts into the thing when if I really don't see the reason for me to do it. Yeah, and that's why people feel themselves less motivated. In my case, I know why I'm studying English. I know why I'm exercising this type of practice, why I'm recording the speaking practice video. And it doesn't matter for me, do I really motivated to do it, or I feel a bit less motivated to do it. I know what I need to do, I have a reason to do it, I do it. Yeah. Very simple structure, very simple way of decision making, and it works. Yeah, it works. Like and another very simple instance before I move to the next question is that, mm, for instance, you want to look good. You just want to look good. Yeah. What you need to do to look good? You need to do physical exercises. Yeah, I mean, gym exercises, other activities. You need to keep your diet. You need to pay attention to what you are eating. You need to work on your body in order to make this body look, in order to make your body good looking. In order to make your body looking good. Yeah. And it's an effort. Yeah. And for me, I found out that I'm not very interested in being or looking as a bodybuilder. Of course, they are look beautiful, and I would like to have the same type of a body, but it's not the it's not my real motivation, or at least it's not my really it's not the really significant motivation for me to do these things, yeah, to exercise. So I found the reason why I should keep attention to what I'm eating, why I should exercising, why I should pay efforts, why I should invest time and efforts into exercising even when I don't have much time or I'm tired after a day of work. The answer is very easy. I would like to look attractive, or at least I would like to have a beautiful body, but the real reason what I want, the real reason what is more significant for me than just a beautiful body is I want to be healthy. I want to feel strength. I want to be, let's say, bendable in my body. I want to be athletic. I want to, I just want to maintain my body in health, and I want to be the person who can do, let's say, physical things. Yeah. I want to be the person who are not, let's, how we call it? 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute. I forget. Very simple word. Who are limited. Yeah. I don't want to be a person who is limited in a movement with the body. I want to be bendable. I want to be flexible. I want to be strong. I want to be fast. I want to get sufficient amount of effectiveness from my body, and that's why I need to exercise. I need to pay efforts to it. Yeah, because if you want your body to bend very well, if you want to be flexible, you need to warm up. You need to stretch yourself. Yeah. If you want to be strong, you need to lift weights. If you want to be fast, you need to train your cardio. So the reason is set, the way is the reason is set, and that's why I have motivation to do it. I'm not chasing uh, body attractiveness per se. I'm chasing body health and body functional and body functionality. Let's
Functionality.
Functionality, yeah. I'm chasing not, I'm not chasing the uh, good look of my body. I'm chasing mostly the um functionality and stable health. Yeah. But it's not very much related to the question. I've just elaborated a bit because I wanted to talk. I wanted to talk. Yeah. The question number 4. What makes certain skills seems what makes certain skills seem easy for some people but difficult for others? What makes certain skills seem easy for some people but difficult for others? The the key word in this question is seem easy. Seem easy. Any complicated skills, any complicated skill isn't easy. Any complicated skill requires time, efforts, and constant practicing. And if person makes this a lot amount of constant practicing into the skill, it might seem easy how the person execute the skill. It might seem easy how person uses and executes this skill. For a person, for us, the person who are not in the topic, yeah. For instance, if you, let's say, I don't know, if you see someone handle heavy weights very easy, it might seems easy, yeah, but it's not easy by itself. It's if the person without proper preparation will try to handle the weights, uh, they probably traumatized. They probably traumatize themselves, yeah. So it's just a seeming. It's just a mistaken, let's say, it's just a mistakable. Oh, very interesting word. I mistaken. It's just a mistaken. Um, Perseveration, perceive, perseveration. Yeah, it's just a mistake. It's just a mistaken perseveration. Perceive, perseveration. I think I hope I use this word correctly. Just a mistaken perseveration. Let's check this word. I can. Why? Perceive verb. Perceive noun. Perception. Yeah, perception. Uh, Perceptiveness. Okay. Yeah. 1 minute. I need to take a little break and I'll continue. I'm here. We can continue. So, what was the question? Let's check. Um, what makes certain skills seems easy? What makes certain skills seem easy for some people but difficult for others? The answer is it's not that skill by itself is easy usually, but that just the person who performs the skill is a real professional and make it seems easy to do. Yeah, that's the simple answer. But as I remember, I've been elaborating. Yeah, I've just simply been elaborating this thought that as a professional makes skill seems easy. And that's all. So question number 5. Why do people sometimes prefer simple explanations over more accurate but complex one? But complex ones. Mm, in general, I don't know who said this. I don't know who said this, but there was a quote or old saying that sounds like the simpler you can give the explanation, the more you understand the topic. Yeah, and I think this is the truth. This is the truth, and there is also one old saying in my language, in my native language, that sounds like uh, 1 minute. It's difficult to translate the meaning. It's difficult to. It's difficult to. How we call it? 1 minute. I knew this. I know this word. Uh, 1 minute. Transfer. 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 Synonym. Convey. Yeah. Convey. Convey. Convey.
Convey.
Convey. Convey. Yeah, convey. What was the question? Yeah, it's the old saying sound like uh it's easier to convey. No. Oh, sorry. The things that I've been trying. The old saying that I've been trying to convey is that simplicity is a sister of talent. Has no much meaning, but in English, but in native language it means that as I said, the easier, the easier the 1 minute. I also forget this word. Very important. Um, very important word. Concise. Concise. Yeah. Okay. The more concise, the more efficient, the more, let's say, the less words, the less difficult words you need to use to explain your point, the yes, sorry, I've already answered this question. I'm just trying to rephrase it without purpose. Yeah, basically, I gave the answer. The easier, the simpler you can explain your the complex topic. The more simpler you can explain the complex topic, the more knowledge you have of this topic. Yeah, if you are a professional, you can explain very simply how your process, how the process is working, because you have enough knowledge to simplify it in order to be more understandable for other people. Yeah, and I think this is the truth. 6. Probably Albert Einstein said that, or some scientists, some scientists of old for sure said that. That the easier you can explain, the more you know about the topic. If you could remove all, the question number 6. If you could remove all uncertainty from your life, do you think you would actually want to? I don't know. Right now, I would like to know what is might happen to me in the future. Yeah, because now life is absolutely unpredictable and even a little bit unstable. Yeah. But in a global meaning, I really don't know. Yeah. Knowing what's gonna happen with you in the future, it allows you to play. It allows you to plan your actions differently. It allows you to affect and even change this possible future. But from the literature, from the books, from the different fantasies, yeah, there is a very good example that when you try to change your future, you only make it faster to happen. Yeah, so probably the best answer would be leave it as it is and just simply do what you can do without certain prediction of the future. Probably just how it should be. Yes, and no need to touch this kind of uh, imaginary ability to predict, and not much point to think about it. Yeah, better concentrate on the reality and on things that you really can deal with, or the things that you really can do. Yeah, no need for over excessive imagination. At least in life. Yeah, in an art, in a process of creating something new, of creating some story, art, animation, doesn't matter. In a process of art, of creating, of creativity, of course, the huge imagination is necessary, I will say. But in a real life, it's better to keep your attention on things that is real, on things that you can control. It just makes life more structured and not easier, but controllable. The question number 7. What role, the question number 7, what role does timing play in success or failure? What role does timing play in success or failure? Mm, I don't know. It depends on conditions. It depends on your goals. It depends on what you consider a success and what you consider a failure. 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 Yeah. What you consider a success and what you consider a failure. Let's. Oh, failure.
Failure.
Failure. Oh, failure. Failure. Yes, it depends on what you consider a success and what you consider a failure. 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 Difficult to pronounce. Failure. Correct. Failure. Uh, Difficult question to answer. Really. No any specific details which will help me to elaborate on this question. Yeah. If the ChatGPT had given me some more details, I would be able to elaborate, but um, let's just move to the next question. Why do some environments make people feel more focused, while others make it difficult to concentrate? Um, the less distractions you have around you, the easier for you to concentrate on something. It's not, it's very obvious, actually, yeah? For instance, if you are sitting in your home, in your room, where is no other people, when there is no other uh, noises that will disturb you, you can just sit and fully concentrate on the activity that you want to perform. But if you are in crowded place, if you are a place when something constantly happening and drawing your attention to it, how could you concentrate? Of course you can, but it would be much more difficult than without these obstacles. Outer obstacles. Yeah. Question number 9. If you had to rely only on one sense, sight, hearing, etc., for a day, which would you choose and why? Mm, According to my profession, my main profession, I judge my animation and I judge my animation quality uh, mainly by my sight. Of course, hearing some kind of other feelings can help you to catch the proper rhythm of your animation or make your animation synchronized with music. But or words, yes, if you animate lip sync, but the main judgmental organ who do all the work mostly is our eyes, yeah, is ability to see. So I wouldn't part with this ability even for a day. So I'll keep the sight for this question. Question number 10. Do you think people are better at predicting their future feelings, or do they often misjudge them? What this question is actually about. Do I think people are better at predicting their future feelings, or do they often misjudge them? Um, um, I don't. Really complicated things to answer. I think in most cases, I don't know. Sometimes we might guess correctly. Sometimes we might guess wrongly. And you can't really control your prediction, yes? It's just your predictions. You make your predictions according to your old experience that you get from similar situations. But it doesn't mean that the future situation might not be different from your expecting. So sometimes you can predict, sometimes you can't. Yeah, it depends on the situation. Uh, so this is my answer. Yeah. I think people are sometimes misjudge their own feelings because we are not usually operate from clear mind. Sometimes there is the noise of past experience that force us to choose some options to feel ourselves in some way. Yeah. And sometimes this is right, sometimes this is wrong. You just need to be able to, let's say, silent silence let's be able to silence all the noises, all the past experiences, in order to just hear what you really feel about the situation. And even then, these feelings might be misleading. Yeah, human mind and human ability to and human mind and human psyche, it's a difficult thing, yeah? And not for me is giving the precise answer and the real answer and the right answer on this topic. I can just share my assumption on this, and I gave my assumption. Okay, I've answered all 10 questions from ChatGPT. Let's be honest, the first part of the speaking practice was a little chaotic. But the second part, after a break, was quite stable and at the same, yes, it was quite stable and more confident from me. Why is that? Because at the beginning, I've tried to talk more, yeah, and that's created that unnecessary tension. I've tried to speak faster, I've tried to speak more. That's why I did more mistakes and I've been breaking my pace in speaking. The real strength or the real skills or the real skill is laying in the slow talking, clear, slow talking, clear thinking or clear thoughts expressing, slow talking, clear thoughts expressing, and paying attention to correct pronunciation. So, in my case, the more slow I talk, the more I concentrate on expressing the point, what I'm trying to express. And I'm not trying to be fast or uh, I'm not trying to be fast or talk too much. Yeah. I'm just trying to speak slowly, understandably, and concentrating on the clarity of my thoughts. Yeah, and that's exactly what leads me to the confidence using of English, or confidence and stable using of English, or confidence and stability of skill. Yeah, in using of skill of using language. Yeah, and that's what I need to remember, and that's what I need to fasten in my head very securely. That I don't need to try to talk fast. I don't need to match the pace of native speakers. What I need is to talk slowly, clearly, and concentrate on what thought I want to express, not how fast or how much words I'm going to say. No, only the clarity, slow pace, and concentrating on expressing the thought. Yeah, so it was good speaking practice for me today. I'm not sure right now am I going to post it on YouTube because the first part was a little a little worse than the second part. I'll consider about it, yeah? I will rewatch this video and I will consider what I'm going to do. Post it or not post it. But nonetheless, this is the last speaking practice video on this week. In this week, sorry. Because I need to do other things. I need to record other types of videos, more technical videos related to 3D animation studying. So I wouldn't simply have time for another speaking practice video. Yes, because there is a lot of there is a lot of writing practice to do. There is also writing practice to do, listening practice to do, and reading practice to do. But moreover, I want to pay attention to, but most of all, I want to pay attention at the on the I want to pay attention on the last days of the week to writing and technical videos. Yeah. So, thank you for watching and see you in the next speaking practice video. That probably would be posted and created uh, after 2 weeks hence. Yeah, 2 week hence. Yeah, 2 week hence. Correct. Let's check it.
Hence.
Hence. 2 years. Yeah, 2 week hence. Yeah, that's gonna be posted 2 week hence because I will switch to the Polish language practice and that 2 weeks. So thank you for watching again and see you in the next speaking practice video. Bye.